Hey, Danners, and welcome to Ask Dan Challenge topic. So, first of all, I want to say I hope you guys have had an epic week and the usual welcome to the 35 Day Dan segment. So, today we're talking about the biggest challenge that I saw. I know I say that every single time I talk about a challenge, but this is literally this is literally one of the biggest things that I had to overcome when losing or going through my transformation. The biggest challenge that I'm talking about today is going to be consistency, and why being consistent is really, really difficult at sometimes, and what outcomes you get by being consistent, right? So when I talk about consistency, I'm talking about basically doing the same thing or doing the same program or plan repetitively over and over again for a certain amount of time. Minor deviations, but more or less sticking to the plan 80 to 90% of the time, right? So, for example, if you've dedicated yourself to train 3-4 days a week for the next 6 weeks, training 3-4 days a week for the next 6 weeks is your aim, and that's your target. You need to really hit that target to get any sort of results. Why this is super challenging is because when I was at 175 kilos, my goal wasn't 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks away. It was months in advance that I had to plan, where I'm now all of a sudden saying to myself, well, okay, I want to lose, I want a 6-pack, or I want to lose, 50 kilos, and you can't really lose 50 kilos in a couple of weeks. So I had to break my goal down into micro goals to therefore meet my consistency goals. So what a consistency goal, and for those of you who do 35 Day Dan, is a consistency goal is giving yourself a reward, like a loyalty program to yourself, holding yourself accountable for being consistent for that week or for that month, for that first block, for that first phase of your goal. So the best way is the biggest challenge that I said, guys, is, like I said, there's holidays, life gets in the way. Sometimes you work late, and if you've dedicated yourself to go to the gym at a certain time, you've allocated an hour of your schedule, and all of a sudden you work late, public transport, like it can definitely push you in all sorts of directions. In the first 2 weeks, you're pumped, you're super motivated. You're seeing the numbers on the scale either go down or up. So it's definitely good. It's definitely a good result. But then, week number 3 comes, and, 2 days you might work a bit late, and now you can't make it because you've got other commitments. And so you start freaking out. And then all of a sudden the week after that, week number 4, the scale reflects it, or however you're measuring your progress is reflecting that lack of consistency. Now, I understand. And like I said to you, I really, really do understand how challenging life can get. It does get in the way. And I always used to prioritize my lifestyle, right? Like if I knew that I had certain gaps in my week where I could pre-fill it with my training schedule or my physical exercise, not necessarily at the gym or whatever, and those gaps were taken over, I basically used to say to myself, going to the gym right now is not a priority. And when you say it out aloud and you say it to yourself, you're like, actually, wow, hold on, going for coffee with my friends, or going out, or the other option, that the reason why I'm not going to the gym, it's actually not a priority. And when you physically say that sentence, when you say, I'm not going to the gym today because I'm tired, say, I'm not going to the gym because it's not a priority. And all of a sudden, what you mentally, your body starts freaking out. It's like, actually, you know what? The goal is really, really important to me, and I will go to the gym. And that's the first step of consistency, convincing yourself, that you have to get there. And because we all know the gym, the hardest step is actually getting to the gym. Once you walk in, or getting to the park or wherever it is, once you start your workout, if you're doing the 35 Day Dan program, plug there, you're going to have fun. You're smiling, you're getting fitter, faster, stronger each and every minute that you do it. So you feel great, but it's just getting to that point where you actually got to step in. And that's where consistency used to be a massive issue for me, because I was working one job here, and I was very, my job was very dynamic, where some days I'll be in a different area, other days I'll be driving for an hour, the days after that I might be stuck in traffic for 45 minutes. What I found was, where my consistency was lacking is where my time, the allocated time, was out of my hands. I was being a little bit too tight with my calendar. But what I did was I shifted the days that I shifted my afternoon sessions, for example, my 6:30 p.m. sessions, to a 6:30 a.m. because I was guaranteed that I'm not at work yet, and I can guarantee to go to the gym at 6:30 a.m. Now, yes, it did take a little bit to get used to, because all of a sudden, I've got 3 meals in me when I was training at 6:30, but now I'm waking up on an empty stomach. So that's challenging in itself, trying to shift your entire workout to facilitate a morning routine as opposed to your afternoon routine. But ultimately, the thing that got me through, and this is the best advice I'm ever going to give anybody, is emotionally attaching yourself. You need to emotionally attach yourself to your end goal. What that means is, I wanted abs really, really bad to prove to certain people or to a certain somebody that I can achieve it. And I really wanted that. So I emotionally attached all this, I didn't want to let myself down. I wanted to hold myself accountable, set a new standard, set a high standard for myself, and, meet my targets, my micro goals every single week. According to my SMART plan, my goal was, train 3 times a week, minimum of 3 times a week. So if I hit 3 times a week, I'm definitely on my way to, I'm carving away at this goal day by day, day by day. So that was the biggest thing for me. I emotionally attached. I got all these powerful emotions, imagine how I'm going to look, imagine how I'm going to feel, imagine how much fitter, faster, stronger I'm going to be. And I emotionally attached myself to my end result, which therefore enabled me to see, okay, look, I have an end state and I know exactly how I'm going to get there. So what that does is it empowered me it literally lifted me up and motivated me to make sure that, this is my priority and I'm not going to let anything else get in the way. Therefore, enabling me to be consistent for the weeks ahead, right? So for the first 2 weeks, everyone's really motivated. You're learning new things. It's really cool. There's a little bit of sore. You might have sore arms, sore chest, depending on the workout, whatever it might be. And, you see a little bit of changes, the scale starts changing and you get super hyped. But it's the weeks that your lifestyle tests what's your priority. They're the weeks that your consistency needs to overcome anything. Like, this was my dedicated slot for 6 p.m. I'm going to rate this activity or event that I need to attend. Is it more important than me achieving my goals? If it is, I need to say to myself, working out is not a priority for me right now. And that's completely fine, guys. As long as you understand that if it's not a priority for you there, you need to make up for it somewhere else, right? Like it's definitely okay. I'm not saying, you've got a massive event, there's a wedding or, a christening or whatever it may be, there's a big event and don't go to it because you've dedicated 6 o'clock. No, what I'm saying is if you understand that you can't get to the gym or, get exercising at that particular time slot, understand and try and plan in advance, because a goal without a plan is just a wish, right? So you've got to remember that planning in advance. Okay, cool. I know that I'm going to be busy on Saturday, or there's might be a chance of traffic on the way home or whatever. So I'm going to push my schedule out just half an hour. You know what? I might actually train tomorrow morning just in case I miss out because I think I might work late. So planning that ahead of time ensures that you're consistently hitting your targets. And plus, it actually gives you a skill inside your mindset. The psychological side of it is that you understand that you're putting yourself first, guys. So the biggest 3 statements that I've written down on my notes here is being consistent with food and food preparation, right? So the longer you're consistent with your food, the amount of the calories and all those other scientific jazz terms, as long as you're consistent with your prepping and your food itself, you're going to learn better eating habits, right? You're going to get an idea of more healthy options. So you're going to have recipes that you didn't know were available to you because you were just sticking to your usual lifestyle. And now all of a sudden, you've got recipes online, you've got recipes on TV, people word of mouth, the recipes, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And maybe that's an alternative to, a snack that you might have. You might just go into the cupboard, get a bag of chips and all of a sudden now you've got a really nice wholesome food snack where Dan shake or Dan cake any time of the day, right? And you're like, wow, that's a better alternative and it actually keeps me fuller for longer. But being consistent with your food is going to actually give you also more energy and you're going to feel vibrant, right? Because your body's nourished. And so the goal of nutrition is to nourish your body with all the nutrients that it needs. So the vitamins and minerals and your macronutrients, the top 3, carbs, proteins, and fats. And it's also to get you closer to your goal, right? So if you can hit all those 4 bullet points, then, you're killing it. You're on the right track and you're definitely going to enjoy the process along the way. And more importantly, guys, planning your food ahead of time and understand prepping it ahead of time ensures that your body is running optimally all day, every day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And that feeling, just imagine when you've had a good night's sleep, you feel full, you feel strong, you feel fit. That's your body being nourished and that's your body feeling normal, if not extra energetic and, bouncing off the walls. You're really reactive, your brain power is working at like overdrive and everything's just super clear and you're just having a great day. So that's a sign that your body is like super nourished. Majority of that can come from nutrition. Obviously, if you've got stress at work and all that, other factors can affect your daily performance. But if you're already nourished, you're going to tackle your day at 110%, right? So that's being consistent with that, with your food and your food preparation is really key on how to overcome the consistency challenge, because you've set a standard, right? And most of the time it takes about 10 days to create or break a habit. So, all of a sudden you've just created a new habit and after 10 days you're killing it, right? You're loving it. You're getting all these new recipes. You're going out to buy books, you're going online. You might flick to the food channel, you might post up on the Facebook and say, hey, Dan, try this as an alternative or, add this to your Dan cake. It's pretty epic. Doesn't need any ingredients added, but you know what, try this. And so, and you build a little bit of a community as well. You know, you can have a food community or whatever. So that's definitely a big point. The second big point is you need to make yourself a priority. Now, I know that sounds a bit selfish, but the longer you leave your health and fitness aside and not focus on that, the worse you're going to get, in the sense that you're not going to have energy. You're going to underperform at work. You're going to underperform at home. You're not really going to enjoy. You're always going to feel tired, right? So the longer you stay in that phase, you're strengthening your comfort zone, and you're not doing yourself any favors, right? The moment you make yourself a priority and say, you know what, this year or this month, this day, I'm going to take my health seriously, and I'm going to make myself a priority. So that was the second biggest thing that helped me overcome the consistency challenge, because all of a sudden I said, you know what, everything else can wait. This is my time, and this is my time to do, my food prep. This is my time to do my shopping. This is my time to do my mindset training, or my whatever, my yoga, Pilates, workout, whatever it may be. This is my time, and I value my health, and so therefore this dedicated, I'm going to be priority. Nothing outweighs how important my health is. And so that's what helped me stay on track and stay consistent, right? The third biggest thing was obviously the results. The fitter, faster, stronger, the biggest combo that I've heard being used in the health and fitness world. And now, not just from like a marketing perspective, but feeling fitter, faster, and stronger. That feeling, to describe to you guys, like usually you might run for about a minute or 2 minutes and feel really puffed out. Imagine running for like 15 minutes and not even breaking a sweat. Like that feeling of fit, being able to be so agile, and your agility is just improved, your stamina's there. All of a sudden you're running around the block. You're keeping up with the kids, or you're running, or you're performing for 40 minutes, whereas you used to be able to perform for 3 or 4 minutes before you're out of breath, or your muscles are sore, or whatever it may be. And more importantly, the stronger feeling. There's nothing better than when I wake up in the morning, I feel full, I feel great, I head to the gym, and I'm just picking up that weight, and I just feel strong, I feel tough, and I just feel incredible. And that's the fitter, faster, stronger combo, right? So that's from consistency, guys. Like if you go and do a workout today, you're not necessarily going to be stronger tomorrow, but you're definitely on the way, baby steps on getting stronger. So don't think that today you're going to lift a couple of dumbbells. You might lift the same dumbbells tomorrow, 1 to 2 kilos heavier, but being able to maintain that progress and just feeling stronger, the fullness feeling, and to feel like, you can pick up the world if you wanted to. So they're the big three, right? And one thing that I really, really want to stress out, guys, is the psychological side of it, the mindset side of it. Most importantly, your self-esteem and your self-worth. When you feel fitter and your body's nourished and you make yourself a priority, your entire aura changes. All of a sudden you're walking around proud, and people notice this aura, right? So the more people that notice it, they're like, wow, like Dan's always happy. He's a glass half full. He's always smiling. He's always laughing. I wonder why. Like, obviously Dan works too, so he's got to have stress. There's other sorts of stress in life. But you know what? The fitter, faster, stronger, the nourished, and making myself a priority is always going to give you a positive vibe and a positive aura, and it's going to definitely improve your self-esteem, guys, and the way you look at yourself, your self-image. You're going to love what you see in the mirror. Not that you don't love that now, but you're just going to feel great. You're going to look great, and more importantly, people around you are going to notice, right? So. And that's probably the biggest value that I can give to you right now, is the longer you stay consistent, the more amplified your results get. So if you stay consistent for a week, you're going to get a week's worth of results. If you stay consistent for 12 weeks, or for example, if you undergo the 35-day Dan program and just follow it to the T, the results you achieve in 5 weeks will be incredible, life-changing. And for the next, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of your life, you're going to have that feeling constantly, 24/7. You're going to feel on top of the world. You're going to feel like you're the brightest thing in the room, right? So when you walk into a room, people will notice, and that's exactly what the consistency helps you do, right? So that was a bit of a long one. So for those of you who joined just now recently, I just want to finish off by saying staying consistent is and will be hard. I'm not going to lie. It's definitely going to be one of the hardest things that you do. But the only way to overcome it is to emotionally attach yourself to the end result, and just imagine that you're already there and you're maintaining it. So if your end result is, to gain 5 kilos of muscle, to look fitter, to feel stronger, imagine you're already there and emotionally attach yourself. Just try and understand how you would feel being that person. Like envision what it's going to feel like and what it's going to look like when you get to your goal. And that emotional attachment that you get with your end state, your goal, will continue to motivate you, inspire, and continue to have consistency around, rocking up every day, doing your food prep, going to do your shopping, saying no to alcoholic beverages over your calorie limit and all that sort of stuff. So I hope it was epic value, and I hope that for those of you who joined recently, you got a lot. I love talking about challenges because you know what? Majority of the time, because I've been doing this for so long, I've seen it all, I've heard it all, and I'm just hoping I can just give back to the community. So yeah, until next week, guys, all the premium clients check in on Sunday. You should get the email and update your stats on the app. So until next time, guys, have a great night, and I'll catch you later. See ya.